A very good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar for the Global Network Project towards Study and Work in Japan. My name is Swapnil Chaurasia, and I am a master's student at the University of Tokyo in the Department of Civil Engineering. I will be today's facilitator. So this is the fifth session of the webinar series hosted by the University of Tokyo India office towards promotion of education in Japan among students from South Asia region. A series of webinars is being organized under this program in which we have presentations by experts from different universities across Japan who will be providing you information and guidance on various English programs being offered. So Japan, even after being the third largest economy with the highest employment rate among the developed nations, is not a very popular country for higher education. This is mainly due to lack of information and various misconceptions like Japanese language requirements, living costs, lifestyles, job prospects, etc. So during the series of these webinars, most of these questions will be answered. And if you have further questions, please write them down in the Q&A portal at the bottom of your screen. Please do not use the chat portal, just use the Q&A portal for asking your questions. So today's webinar is scheduled for 2 hours. We will first have the introduction on study and work in Japan by Ms. Sakshi from University of Tokyo, India office, followed by the presentation on overview of study and work in Japan project by Ms. Koshi. We will then have presentations by the three of the top Japanese university, namely Shizuoka University, Tokyo International University, and Yokohama National University. Total presentation time for each university is 20 minutes, which will be followed by 5 minutes of Q&A session. So I would like to request all the presenters and panelists to please keep your camera and audio closed when you're not presenting. Thank you. So now, without any further delay, I will turn over to Ms. Sakshi to start the proceedings as a motivator and guide to students for study and work in Japan.
Hi, thank you, Swapnil. So hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. My name is Sakshi Roy. I'm the program assistant here with the University of Tokyo, India office. I hope you and your family are staying safe and healthy in this pandemic. I'm glad that you all have taken a time to join us today. We have a lot of useful information to share with you. So many of you who joined our previous webinars may already know that the University of Tokyo have their office in India. So our office is one of the overseas office shared utilization by universities to open in India under the Global 30 project. So we provide comprehensive information on Japanese universities. We organize education fairs and seminars throughout India. We also manages committees for coordinator for study in Japan. So this project, Study and Work in Japan, started on May 6th and will continue of August. So today is session 5th. So it is sponsored by MEX, that is Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology in Japan. So through all these online sessions, our mission is to introduce Japanese universities to you and to assist you to study and work in Japan. There will be 3 different Japanese universities representing in each session, which are national universities, public universities, and private universities. So all of the universities participating in this session will discuss about their programs which are offered in English. So it is a great opportunity for you, for all of you, to get familiar with Japanese universities and their procedure for admission. Before moving forward, if you do not have a diary or pen, then I recommend please get it and note down the important points that will be discussed by universities representatives in today's session. And I request you to please stay till the end because we have a lot in store for you. And I request you to please participate in all of the sessions. And I hope it will help you to consider study in Japan, seizing the opportunity to build an even brighter and more fulfilling future. Thank you so much for your attention. Please enjoy today's session. Over to you, Swapnil-san.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sakshi. Next, we will have the presentation on overview of study and work in Japan by Ms. Kushi from Keio University.
Thank you, Mr. Swapnil, for the introduction. I'll share my screen right away. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, it is working fine. Thank you.
So very good evening to all the panelists and attendees. I'm Kushi Javeri from Keio University, and today I'll be talking about the study and work life in Japan. So I'll start by giving a brief introduction about myself. I am raised in Tokyo and I graduated from an international school in Tokyo. I am a second-year undergraduate student at Keio University, pursuing a bachelor's degree in Environment and Information Studies. At present, I am a member of the India-Japan Laboratory and the GIS Laboratory at Keio University. I'm also a recipient of the Keio University Scholarship, and I have worked as an intern at Shibara Institute of Technology, Hitachi, and I was also a member of the Social Innovation Hackathon that was held last year in collaboration with IIT and NIT. So why should you choose Japan as your destination to pursue further studies? Firstly, Japan is the third largest economy in the world, with a population of 126 million and 47 prefectures. It is a member of the G7 summit with many developed countries, including US, UK, Canada, Germany, and many more. Japan ranks 9th in the Global Peace Index and has topped the Safe Cities Index for the third consecutive time. There are a range of international cuisines such as Indian, Korean, Chinese, Italian, and Nepalese available to students coming from the overseas. Recently, culturally appropriate food, including halal, vegetarian, and vegan options, are also being created. Health policies have proved to be very beneficial to international students, as 70% of the costs are being covered by the government. There are several universities in Japan that offer English programs at undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral levels. In Japan, undergraduate programs offer 4 years, graduate for 1 or 2, depending on the program you're applying for, and doctoral for 3 to 4. The English programs in Japan are well renowned because the professors have great expertise in their respective fields and have created unique approaches to teach students. Japanese universities are categorized into national, that are founded by the Japanese government, public, that are led by local public entities, and private, that are based on founders. Universities also provide resources and infrastructure to students so that they are able to utilize them efficiently. Libraries, research labs, student lounge, gymnasiums, and dormitories are some examples. The fee structure is an important aspect while applying to universities. For better understanding, we have presented a chart that helps one understand and compare the differences between the tuition fee in the US and Japan. The tuition fee in public universities in US is 5 times higher, while the private universities is 3 times more. The living expenses are somewhat similar. However, Japan is much cheaper than the US in terms of overall education. Financial assistance is also provided to by universities or Japanese government in the form of internal and external scholarships. The MEC scholarship and the JASO scholarship being some of the well-known scholarships within international students. In order to apply for the master's or PhD courses, it is crucial for the applicant to contact the supervisor of the program for admission assistance. The job opportunities in Japan are countless. Graduates from Japanese universities usually tend to work for well-renowned multinational companies such as Amazon, Toyota, Google, and Panasonic. Graduates, especially with a computer background, have a great scope in Japan. The average salary after graduation is 3.9 million yen per year, which is 27 lakh rupees. Japan also has the lowest unemployment rate, which is 2.34%. Visa procurement is not a very tedious process. The student visa can be upgraded to working visa if the student is able to find a job in Japan. As one can infer from the graph, the number of dispositions for employment purposes from international students has been escalating over the years. 2019 witnessed double the capacity of international students in 2017. There's a 50% increase in the number of dispositions. The number of students from Southeast Asia has been increasing because of the wide job prospects in Japan. The rise in job opportunities in Japan has increased the demand for international students to pursue their further studies and a career in Japan. So from my experience, I can undoubtedly say that my university has opened doors to several opportunities and experiences. The picture on the left is from an event called the Sokeisen, which is a term used for the baseball game between two prestigious universities, which are Keio University and Waseda University. The picture on the right is from the hackathon that was held last year in collaboration with IIT and NIT. In the India-Japan laboratory, we conduct social and cultural events so that students from both countries are given the chance to communicate and collaborate. In the GIS laboratory, we aim to approach different challenges of the environment by using various computer-based tools. Lastly, another very interesting factor of studying in Japan is the opportunity to experience various seasons. Compared to other countries, Japan does not experience harsh climates. One can enjoy different seasons in the country, for example, witnessing cherry blossoms in spring to the stellar views in fall and winter. The diverse weather conditions give students the chance to experience different seasons and travel across the country. I hope my presentation encouraged you to consider working or studying in Japan, and I hope I was able to give students and parents an insight into the study and work life in Japan. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Khushi-san, for such a unique presentation in which you covered so many different aspects of student life in Japan. You shed light not only into the education system and life in Japan, but you also provided information about the huge potential of having a blooming and financially rewarding career in Japan. Thank you very much. So next, we will move forward with the university session in which we will have presentations from the three of the top universities in Japan. Our first presentation is by Shizuoka University. Shizuoka University is a prestigious national university in Japan, well known in the field of engineering and in the invention of next generation technology. It boasts a huge base of eminent alumni, including Mr. Shoichiro Honda, who is the founder of Honda Motor Corporation Limited. So from Shizuoka University, we are joined by Professor Dev from the Organization of International Collaboration. So I would like to hand over the proceeding to Mr. Dev, please.
Thank you very much, Swapnil-san, for your kind introduction. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity to present opportunities of higher education and even working here in Japan to citizens from India and students, young, bright students. And I hope everybody is safe and healthy in India and wish you get opportunity to come here. So before I start my presentation, I would like to share a video of Shizuoka University. And just a minute, please. Okay, thank you very much for watching that video. Now I'll start my presentation. Okay, everybody can see the slide. So as shown in the video, Shizuoka University is located very close to, or right in between Tokyo and Osaka. You can reach our university by either side, by coming to Tokyo Airport or Osaka Airport, and then you can take a Shinkansen to reach us. On the way, when you're coming to see us, you can see Mount Fuji from the Shinkansen window, and it's a very beautiful mountain and very famous all around the world. It only takes almost 1 hour from Tokyo, and we have two campuses. One is in Shizuoka, which is the capital of Shizuoka Prefecture, and another is in Hamamatsu City, which is the industrial hub of Shizuoka Prefecture, which is also just 1.5 hours from Tokyo and 30 minutes from Nagoya. From Shizuoka campus, you can reach Hamamatsu by Shinkansen in 20 minutes. And one of the most beautiful mountain, Mount Fuji, is very clearly visible from Shizuoka University campus on a clear day. As has been pointed out by earlier presenter, Ms. Koshi also, Japan is a center for many technologically advanced companies. And Shizuoka Prefecture also is a hub for many such multinational companies who are doing leading research in the field of electronics, automobiles, piano, music industry. And Shizuoka Prefecture is basically agriculture-based prefecture, and they have a lot of agriculture. And as a result, Shizuoka University has a strong faculty in agricultural science also. And as you can see, Shizuoka Prefecture is rich in very different variety of companies, pharmaceutical, food, and electronics. Shizuoka Prefecture also has its own airport. Unfortunately, we don't have a direct flight between India and Fuji Shizuoka Airport. Hope so one day we will have that. So Shizuoka University has two campuses. This is a bird's view of the two campuses. Shizuoka campus in Shizuoka City, Shizuoka University campus in Shizuoka City is located on a hilltop and very close to Tome Highway or Express Highway. Recently, we got an exit near to our university. So if you have your own car, driving license, international license, you can drive your car very directly and exit near the Shizuoka University exit and reach us very quickly. Hamamatsu campus is on a flat land, and it's has a lot of buildings and many tall rise research labs are there, and very famous for Professor Takanayagi Museum also, which is on campus. As you can see, we have a huge number of students, approximately 11,000, and a lot of them our international students are also there, and their numbers are increasing. As has been told by earlier when we started this webinar, Shizuoka University is a national university, and we rank in the top universities in Japan. We have various educational programs like double degree program, and currently we are promoting Asia Bridge program, which is an undergraduate program in Japanese. But for master's program, which is today's main emphasis for webinar, is in English. So if you are interested in master's program, you want to come here to pursue MSc or master's, please send us an email. This is a little bit old data, but it's showing the number of students studying at Shizuoka University is increasing. We have a we are promoting very integrated science. New fields are emerging by merger between different fields, traditional physics, chemistry, biology, or engineering fields. They are merged into new fields like nanobiotechnology, green bioscience, and optical imaging sciences. And all these fields are generating new opportunities of research and new job opportunities after we graduate. New industries are being set up by these research oriented field companies. So let me give you a brief talk about the education program, which will be beneficial for the applicants if you're interested. Is Asia Bridge program, and this especially focuses on Asia, and there is extensive financial support, and we have good industrial link, and international admissions are facilitated twice a year. So the benefit of this program is full tuition scholarship for Asian students, and many different Asian students are studying here. And each year we take 40 students for undergraduate program and equal number of 40 students for master's program in different faculties as shown here in the picture, ranging from humanities and social science, informatics, engineering, and agriculture. So today's emphasis is on master's course, and as you can see from Asia, almost all the countries, prominent countries, their students are applying us for master's position. So for master's work, generally in Japan, you have to do research in a professor's lab, and you have to submit a thesis. You have to publish papers, and you have to submit a thesis, and then you have to give a defense, and then afterwards you get you graduate, you get your master's degree. After you finish your master's degree, you can go and apply for jobs. As you can see here, once a student has enrolled in our course, ABP program, there will be specialist subjects offered, and then ABP Asia Bridge program, special module subjects will be offered, and free Japanese lessons are there. Of course, when they are doing all this thing, they have to do the laboratory work, research project, and prepare for their dissertations in future. We also offer extensive career support by providing career guidance and opportunities for internship. And we also provide matchmaking opportunities with the industry. So the student can think about which company they would like to join. As shown in this slide, fees is a very important criteria. And as told by earlier presenter also, Japan is relatively cheaper compared to United States or other European countries. And in Asia-based program, the application fee and enrollment fees are free, and which is a very big support for the students, and it brings down the cost dramatically. Based on their performance and grades, their scholarship will be pushed. Again, they will get the full tuition waiver or half based on their grades. But the bottom line is that support will be provided to students with merits. And living cost in Shizuoka especially is cheap compared to big cosmopolitan cities or big cities like Osaka or Tokyo. So these are few of the courses offered in different faculties, as shown here: informatics, then masters in mathematics, physics, chemistry. Then in engineering, almost all the fields are there, and in agricultural sciences. So what to do when you wish to apply for such a program? So my first advice to all the prospective student is find a prospective academic supervisor. So before applying, you should check the list on ABP's website and select a professor in whose lab you would like to pursue further master's degree, especially your research, your ideas, your belief in research, which topics you want to do. It should match with the professor, because your 2 years will be basically focused on performing research. Once you have fixed on the professor with whom you are interested, you have to get in touch by email with him, and you should get a prior consent from him by email. And then you can begin the online application process, which is very easy, and you can submit all the documents online. And by the end of March or somewhere in March, a Skype interview test will be held. And once all this thing is done, we will send the results and the relative documents for getting your student visa. And application guides for ABP Master's Program is regularly updated. So I suggest all of you please have a look at it. So this is our 2 campuses and our international students taking part in events being hosted. This is the international dormitory in the 2 cities in Shizuoka and Hamamatsu. As you can see, for international students, we have taken care to make new dormitories with best amenities, and they will feel very safe and very happy. So if any further information is needed, you can contact us at this following email ID. Please write it down. Or you can look up on internet and follow us from there also. And you can just Google by Shizuoka University. Also, you can find us. We regularly hold international events, and faculty members and our students, they interact with other faculty members from around the world, even from Asian countries. We have a very good network. And these are few of the international events we have been doing in different parts from even in India, SRM University and Anna University, we have MOU with Assam University also. And the numbers will increase in future, hopefully. And subsequently, we will be holding international events. This is from Indonesia. We held it in 2012 and 16. This was in Thailand. And this is in Vietnam. And one day we will hold such events in India also. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and feel free to ask any questions.
Thank you very much, Professor Dev, for such a comprehensive presentation. And I would like to say a special thanks for sharing about the whole procedure of admission that students have to go through along with its timeline. So that is very helpful for students. And that only does not cover Shizuoka University, but it covers the whole university admission process in Japan in general. So thank you for sharing that information. So there are certain questions in the Q&A portal. Some you can pick. 1 or 2 I have marked for asking you personally. So can I ask them first?
Okay, sure.
So one of the questions that is quite specific is, hello, I would like to ask about US passport holder, student residing in India from the past 15 years. Will they be eligible for Asia Bridge program?
Actually, is Asia Bridge program, Indian citizens are given the first preference, and that's the merit of the program. So if you have a US citizenship, I think so it's going to be, you can apply for some other program in Shizuoka University. But for the Asia Bridge program, it's better to apply using the Indian passport or Indian citizenship.
Thank you. One more question. Do you have undergraduate courses in English?
At present, unfortunately, we don't have undergraduate programs in English, but there are many courses also being offered in undergraduate program, but primarily the program is in Japanese language.
Thank you very much. So would you like to pick up any question by yourself as well? You can do that.
Okay. So very interactive students, participants are there.
Yes, that's very nice.
Yeah, and so there is this one, hello, I've done my master's in science from Mumbai University. I wish to work as teacher in Japan.
Yeah, that's quite a general question.
So actually, why I said that, because this is a very popular question.
Yes.
I did my master's from IIT Bombay. And after doing my master's, I came to Shizuoka University to do PhD in molecular biology from agriculture department. And I did that PhD, and then I went and do postdoc in US, and then I worked in India in National AIDS Research Institute. And then I came back again to Shizuoka University to do the job. So why to just limit yourself to working for a language teacher? If you have required willpower, come here, study more, gain more knowledge, and then you can, of course, find suitable jobs, not only as a language teacher, but as a professor you can become, or any other subjects. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have been getting a lot of questions which are not very specific to Shizuoka, but in general, comment on the life and other things. So there's some question about the B-Arch, the architectural courses in Shizuoka University. So do you provide that?
No, unfortunately, we don't have civil engineering and architecture. These courses, programs are not available.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Dev.
Thank you
And
very much.
I would like to request you to please support us by answering the question that may be coming in the Q&A portal in the coming times. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Swapnil, and very well managed program. And my congratulations to the whole team. Thank you very much. And I will be looking at the question answer session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So moving forward, we will now have the presentation from the next university, that is Tokyo International University. Tokyo International University is a private research-oriented liberal arts university that is regarded as one of the most international institutions in Japan. TIU is well known for a unique and well-developed, well-known English-based program providing majors in business, economics, and international relations called English Track Program. And it has a huge international student base of roughly 1,200 students from over 60 countries. So from Tokyo International University, we are joined by Mr. Benjamin Serbrook, admission advisors. So I would like to hand over the mic to Mr. Ben.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Swapnil. And thank you everyone who's already presented. They were super engaging and you really kind of outlined a lot of, I think, the strength of studying abroad in Japan, which I think is something that hopefully more and more Indian students and students kind of across the world, I think it's important for them to learn. But hello, everyone. As was just said, my name is Ben. I work at Tokyo International University in Tokyo, Japan. And I'm super excited to be here, and I'm really happy that all of you decided to join me for this presentation. I've got kind of a quick little PowerPoint for everyone to see, and then we'll move into some questions and answers. But please feel free to post any questions to the Q&A box. I would absolutely love to hear from you. And if I don't go over it during the presentation, I'll definitely be able to answer it when we move into the Q&A session. But just kind of some background information on me. I am originally from the United States, from California, and I've been living in Japan for about 5 years now. I also did a study abroad in Japan, so hopefully I can kind of answer any questions you have about study abroad or kind of living in Japan as a non-citizen as well, if you guys have any questions about that. But why don't we go ahead and get started? All right, well, I hope everyone can see the presentation, and if you can't, please just let me know. But why don't we go ahead and so I'm here to talk about Tokyo International University, and in particular our English track program, which is our entirely English medium degree. So TIU, that's kind of the abbreviation we use, was founded in 1965. However, the English track program began in 2015, about 6 years ago. So it's still relatively recent, all of our majors that are taught in English. However, within those 6 years, we have gone from around 40 international students to over 1,300. And so they make up around 20% of our total student body throughout the entire university, although the vast majority of those international students are in our English track program. And they come from 68 different countries around the world, which was said earlier. But so you can really be rest assured that you're going to be getting an international and diverse viewpoint from your peers. On top of that, we also have an extremely international faculty as well. 65% of our professors come from outside of Japan. which is awesome. And they come from literally everywhere around the world, from the USA, from Syria, from Turkey, from France, from India, from Singapore, from Korea. So you're really going to be getting, again, a super diverse viewpoint and kind of global experience, not only from your peers, but from your professors. And these are professors kind of across all of our majors, not just our international relations major. Our professors really are extremely diverse, and I think this is a huge benefit to you. So while we are located in a place called Kawagoe, which is about 30 minutes from the city center of Tokyo, we're still in kind of the greater Tokyo metro area. However, in 2023, so for any of you looking to apply in the next application cycle, from your sophomore year onwards, you will get to be at our brand new campus in the city center of Tokyo in an area called Ikebukuro, which is super exciting, and we're really excited about it, and it'll be kind of a great opportunity for you to really get to experience and benefit everything that Tokyo as a city has to offer. To talk a little bit more about Tokyo and why, I in particular think it's such a great city. It was ranked the #2 city in the world for students by QS Magazine, and this was, I believe, the second year in a row that it was ranked that. And it really is just such an awesome place to live as a student. So, kind of there's really great public transportation, and it's exceedingly affordable compared to other cities like maybe London or Sydney. But it's also just a really fun city to live in, kind of no matter what your hobby is, it's definitely going to be there. There's tons of different cuisine all around Tokyo. So it's a really accessible and great city for students. Moving on to kind of the programs at our university, just so everyone knows, it is a 4-year, we do have early graduation options for high achieving students, but a 4-year degree program taught in English. So we don't require any Japanese. You don't need to know any before you apply. You of course can, and we welcome any students that do speak it, but you don't need to know any. And we have 3 majors. We have International Relations, Digital Business and Innovation, which is a Bachelor of Science, and Business Economics. These are the only 3 majors that we offer for our E-Track program, so we don't have any sort of engineering or architecture majors, or any super hard science majors like physics or biology. So just keep that in mind. Starting with Business Economics, this is kind of your more traditional business degree. We have a number of focus areas that you can choose to really kind of hone your skills and kind of pick kind of a track to go on during your time. So things like management, economics, finance, marketing. But our professors are really focused on kind of teaching you things that are going to be practical that you can apply in the workplace once you graduate. So it's a really kind of great opportunity to learn from professors with real world experience and kind of learn what it's like out in the world. Our second major is a Bachelor of Science in Digital Business and Innovation. Now, we just began this major in 2020, and it's a very unique major. It's kind of one of the only ones of its kind taught in English in Japan. And it looks at the intersection of the business world and technology and IT, because we think it's a really relevant major for students nowadays. So you can learn things like digital marketing, and learn about how important that is. We have like an artificial intelligence and deep learning focus area in the major, so you can learn all about like machine learning and things like that. We have digital transformation and tech innovation, and then things like digital finance and fintech, so you can study things like cryptocurrencies, right, like blockchain and Bitcoin, and even things like big data analytics, which is a huge industry right now in the world. And so this major, while it is a bit more science focused, right, you can choose kind of a more sciencey path where you learn like coding and things like that, or you can go a little bit more on like the business side of things, right, with like digital marketing and digital business management. But it's a really relevant major for students who maybe want to get a little bit more of that science focus, and who have maybe slightly more math skills. Along with this major, when we began it, we joined a partnership with a global tech company called Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra is the 3rd largest IT company in India, and we opened up an innovation lab with them at TIU, which is going to be used for classes and research and things like that. We even held a career practicum course with them this past year, so our students were able to kind of work alongside industry executives and really leaders in their field and learn what it's like in the real world, right? Get that practical experience for when they graduate. And Things have been, of course, a little bit slow because of the pandemic, but we do expect in the future that students will be able to have internships with them. And who knows, maybe even we'll have some graduates who are working at companies like this. And our final major, of course, is international relations. Now, this is for those students who kind of want to know how countries interact and how things like, the causes of like international trade or international conflict. We also have a number of focus areas in this major as well, depending on the area that you're really interested in. And while many students from this major go on to, work at maybe NGOs or work for the government back home or embassies or the UN, this is also a great major if you're maybe interested in things like international business, as it really gives you that international perspective. And we have a number of graduates from this program who are now working in kind of maybe the international arm of a multinational corporation. So moving on from this, while we don't require any Japanese, we do require students to take 1 semester at the university just to help them make sure that they get kind of adapted to Japan. But again, you don't need to know any before you come. Most of our students don't. And if you work hard, you can continue to take Japanese courses and achieve full fluency by graduation. And again, a number of our students have done this. As somebody who did a study abroad at Tokyo International University, I can tell you that this is really where my Japanese took off, and it's really what allows me to work in Japan with a primarily Japanese team and use that as kind of my everyday language. So it's definitely something that you can do too. We know that moving abroad to a new country, especially one that you're maybe not as familiar with, can be quite scary for both students and parents. So we have an entire office called the International Exchange Office dedicated to kind of daily life support for our students. So they do things like airport pickup, help you open a bank account, and they can even provide medical interpretation or emergency interpretation for any events that come up. We have a kind of entire team that helps with that. So you can be rest assured that even though while it might be a little nerve-wracking to move to a new country, we will support you kind of every step of the way and help you throughout that process. Also on campus, we do have a completely vegetarian friendly and halal certified cafeteria. So if you're looking for any kind of culturally appropriate foods, we do have those here. And the area around our campus actually has a number of both vegetarian friendly and halal certified restaurants and a few supermarkets as well. And there's some couple stations away as well. So you can definitely kind of have those foods when you need them. We, of course, have a number of clubs available for our students as well. A ton of different sports like soccer or football. TIU's team, relay marathon team actually is in kind of one of the biggest races in Japan that's kind of broadcasted at the start of the new year every year. And things, of course, like hip hop dancing, or orchestra. And we also have a model UN team. So if you have any kind of experience in that, this was entirely started by our international students. So that's another thing that you can do during your time at TIU. And we have events on campus as well when it's not kind of the current year that we've been having. So we have like a giant international festival that's held and organized entirely by the students for you to kind of share your culture with not only your fellow students, but the local community as well. We, of course, have dormitories for our students to live in. We have kind of a number of different options. We have both single and shared rooms, and they come fully furnished, of course, and you can live in them for up to 1 year. TIU also has a number of different exchange programs around the world, including a sister city in the United States with a few different programs with them. So if you're looking to kind of spend a semester abroad during your university career abroad, you can definitely do that. And all of our students who have really enjoyed the process. We, of course, while this was touched on a bit before, we like to talk about kind of working in Japan post-graduation. We, of course, have a full-service career center. They do things like help you with your resume and help, do interview practice. They can even introduce you to companies that are looking for kind of international staff at their company. They bring companies to campus to hold information sessions. They have an on-campus career fair. So you can definitely know that you're going to be getting all of the sort of support that you need during the job hunting process. The employment system in Japan, as mentioned, is a little different. You begin kind of during your 3rd year of university. And because of this, we actually in 2020 had a 95% job placement rate for our international students. And these are students who received a job offer prior to graduation. So we have a really great track record, and it's really important to us that we do have a track record for this because, the whole point of going to university, right, is to really, you know, beef up your skills and help you prepare for the job market, right? And so we're really kind of happy about this. You can know that this is kind of the support that you'll be getting. Moving on to talk about tuition at the university. So you can see our tuition here, see kind of the cost for first year students and then students in years 2 through 4. So it costs around, I think, $12,900 per year on average for our total tuition and fees. However, we do have merit-based tuition reduction scholarships available to all of our students. You apply at the same time that you apply for admission. It's really simple. It's all on the online application. You just check a box, write a quick paragraph, and you can apply for that. We have them at 4 levels, 30, 50, 80, and 100%. And of course, kind of, you know, the higher the reduction, the more difficult it is to receive. But the good news is that the vast majority of our students are receiving some form of scholarship. So if you apply, there's a very good chance that you can get it. And again, as I said, this is merit-based. So we're going to be looking primarily at the things that you apply with, right? So, you know, your high school transcript, whether that's, you know, your A-levels or your IB scores or your grades. We're going to be looking at your English proficiency score, and we accept a number of different tests. And then we're also going to be looking at your personal statement, of course, that you write. So you remember, you know, those are going to be the things that we're really looking at. We do not offer any need-based scholarships. So this is where you're really going to want to kind of focus your efforts. We also have a scholarship for any students who are doing Model UN during their high school career and are looking to be an international relations major at TIU. We have kind of an enrollment fee waiver. So if this applies to you, it's definitely something that we encourage you to apply for. And there's also a scholarship offered by kind of an organization in Japan called JASO that provides a monthly living stipend for international students during their first 6 months or year in Japan. And it provides around $450 per month. So it's definitely a great opportunity to kind of help you during, you know, your first semester or two in Japan. The great thing about this is that we have a really high acceptance rate for this scholarship as well. I think over 95% at the moment. And it's something that you apply for once you've entered the university, and we kind of walk you through that whole process. So you don't need to worry too much about it, but it's definitely another thing that can help you. Students in Japan are also allowed to work up to 28 hours per week. And in kind of the Tokyo area, wages range from anywhere from like around 10 to 15 US dollars per hour. And some jobs, of course, do require basic Japanese or maybe even more advanced Japanese, but our students really have done so many different jobs. We have students that do, you know, English teaching or work at convenience stores, or who work, you know, at like child fitness centers, or we have a number of jobs on campus as well, since that's like our peer writing center or our campus globalization team. So there's lots of different options for students as well. And just to go into eligibility a little bit, I mentioned that, you know, we do require, you have to submit your transcripts and then an English proficiency score, and then kind of background info and a statement of purpose, a letter of recommendation, and then any extracurriculars you have. We accept a number of different English tests. So the 3 written here, right? IELTS, Duolingo, your TOEFL. We also accept TOEIC, the Cambridge test, the Pearson English test. Also, if you are from a IB program, we do accept your IB English score as proof of English proficiency. Students who are in the IGCSE program can submit their O-level English score. So we have lots of different kind of options available. And while our minimum for like IELTS, for example, is around a 5.5 that you need to have in order to apply, the higher the score, the better for you, not only for your chance for admission, but of course for those scholarships as well, right? So really you want to get kind of score as high as possible as you can on those English proficiency tests. And then just to go talk a little bit about our April intake for next year, we have 3 application periods, with our first one coming up, begins at the end of this month, and then another in September, and our final one in November. And then for September intake, which I feel like probably will be the majority of you, we have 4 application periods. We have one this November, and then 3 next year, one in January, February, and April. So those who are looking for 2022 intake, these are the application periods. And then just to go a little bit, I know that some of you will be looking for graduate programs. I'm here just to talk about our undergraduate program. If you're looking to apply to our graduate program, I'll send a message to the chat and you can reach out to them directly. They kind of have a separate application process that works a bit differently, but I'll give you their contact information. And again, if you are interested, please reach out to them directly. But that is it for my presentation. I believe we can move into the Q&A now, correct?
Yes, Mr. Ben, thank you very much for your presentation and sharing all the details that a student might need for securing admission in the undergraduate programs. However, as you mentioned, we are getting quite many questions regarding the graduate and postgraduate courses. So I marked them as answer live. So you answered in the last moment. So I would like to request you to please reiterate it so that they can get the answer.
Yeah, definitely. We do have a master's. We have master's degrees in international relations, economics, and digital business and innovation. However, we do have a separate graduate admissions team. So I do not work with that. I work only with undergraduate. But I will post a message in the chat that kind of outlines basic information on our website, which I really encourage you to check out, both for undergraduate or graduate, and then the contact email for our graduate admissions team. Again, I really encourage you to reach out to them directly because they'll be able to help you. And then again, I also want to reiterate, TIU offers, we have 3 majors. We have business economics, digital business and innovation, and international relations. We have no architecture, engineering, or any hard sciences like biology or physics.
Thank you very much. That answers quite many questions that we have been getting.
I know, I figured. Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody did ask, can Sri Lankan students apply to these scholarships? And yes, you can. Yes, we have students. We have a number of students from Sri Lanka as well. So please do. We really encourage you. And we do have kind of partners in Sri Lanka too that can help you as well.
I have one more question regarding the the doctoral programs. Apart from masters, does TIU also offer masters? They also offer doctoral courses?
Yes, we do offer doctorate courses. Again, I'll put that contact information there as well. Not every major has a PhD program, but we do have English language masters and PhD programs if students are looking for that.
There's one more question in general that is there. Like, if someone has done their undergrad from engineering field, are they eligible to apply for the master's program in other fields? Is there any limitation to that, or they can apply?
So we don't have any limits on that. Of course, it's something that I think you'll definitely have to maybe talk about and kind of explain in things like your personal statements and your essays. But no, we don't we don't have any restrictions on that.
Okay. So I think that's the question that I can think of. If you have any further question, you can decide, or we can move forward.
Yeah, no worries. I'll go through and I'll type some answers to some of these questions in here. So I'll go ahead and try to answer as many of those as I can.
Yeah, thank you.
But again, I'll be posting in the chat, I'll be posting our contact information for everything and a link to our website. So please reach out to us if you do have any questions. We also have an office in India as well, and I'll post our contact information to that. So please reach out to us. So thank you so much, everyone. And, continue to stay safe and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you again, Mr. Ben. I would again like to rephrase that please post your questions in the Q&A portal, because chat is for sharing information, like Mr. Ben will be sharing the information about the contact details. So thank you very much. Now moving forward, we next have the presentation by Yokohama National University. Yokohama National University is a top national university in Japan, which is located in the vibrant city of Yokohama. Yokohama National University has brought together faculty members of diverse specialities such as humanities, social sciences, science, and engineering, all together at one campus to carry out the research that emphasizes on the practical application of knowledge. So from YNU, we have Professor Nakamura from the Faculty of Engineering with us. I would hand over the mic to Professor Nakamura.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I'd like to start my presentation. Sorry. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kazuho Nakamura from Yokohama National University, YNU. Thank you, thank you for giving us this opportunity to make a short introduction of our university. So I present you why study at YNU. So in this presentation, I will present the 5 reasons. The first point is research. Second point is education. Third point is location and environment. Fourth point is facility and student support. Fifth point is fee and careers. And in addition, I'll introduce the exchange activities of the YNU with the Indian universities. At last, I'll show you a short movie of the YNU. This slide shows the YNU by numbers. YNU was founded in the 1874, so we have over 100 years history. The YNU has 5 colleges and 6 graduate schools. There are 10,000 students in undergraduate, sorry, undergraduate college, 10,000 students in the undergraduate college and graduate school and 600 full-time faculty in one campus. Over 1,000 international students study in this campus. And we have 140 international partner universities. Okay, this slide shows the research field ranked top 10 in Japan. And this ranking is based on the grant in aid for scientific research, which reflects the level of research and budget for research. From the social science, engineering, and the basic science, YNU covers very wide top-ranked research area. This is another ranking based on the database of the Web of Science. The many papers impacting the world were published from YNU. These publications shows the potential of the research of YNU. So this ranking shows that YNU conduct cutting-edge research. So this is second is education. The YNU placed importance on solving actual and real-world problems and offers practical education in the field of the education, humanities and social science, and the English and science, engineering and science. YNU aims to foster youngsters who can make their contribution both the local and global society. So YNU have 5 colleges and 6 graduate schools. These are 5 colleges, education and economics and business administration and engineering science and urban science. These are graduate schools, education, the international social science and engineering of engineering science, the environment and information science, urban innovation and innovative and practical studies. So YNU also offers English programs. In undergraduate, this program on Yokohama Creative City Studies is provided in English, and graduate school this program provided in English. All courses of the Graduate School of Engineering Science are offered in English. So this is the point of the education of the the point of the education of the YNU is practical. Third is location and environment. From this slide, I'd like to introduce of the Yokohama city. Yokohama is second largest city in Japan and in the Tokyo metropolitan area, but not so crowded. This area is the best area for experience and learn of the Japanese culture and feel dynamic economical activities. And especially for younger generation, it is very exciting and cultural area. And this is a view of the Yokohama city and our university. This area near the ocean is Minatomira District, which is the business district with many headquarters of the biggest international companies like Nissan Motor, and one of the biggest sightseeing spot of the Yokohama. Our campus is this green area. So it's like an oasis in Yokohama City. So our campus is named Tokiwadai. In Japanese, it means an evergreen hills. These are snapshots of our campus. So all colleges and graduate school are in one campus. And YNU located only 3 kilometers away from the Yokohama station. And it's an ideal environment and study and relax. So Yokohama City and YNU campus is an ideal place to study and read. This is the post, the facility and student support. This is the central library, and this is the free Japanese language and culture classes for all international students. So, and YNU has 4 dormitories, and international students can stay on these dormitories. In the campus, there are some cafeteria and the shops. Okay. This is the student center. Student center will support the campus life of the students. This is the tutor system. By the tutor system means the student supporter system. Senior students help newly coming international students. And these are official student support groups for international support groups for international students. These are international group, international student group and club and society activities. So YNU won a special award for the international student teaching and supporting. So YNU is very supportive for the international student life. Fifth, the fee and the careers. This slide shows the fee and careers. Tuition fee of the national university in Japan are very economical compared to US, Australia, and European universities and private universities in Japan. And the YNU also offer the YNU tuition waiver program for the privately financed international students. Many international students, the privately financed, use this program. And this is the situation of the careers. In the job hunting activities, YNU is very well recognized from the industries, and many international students get a job at very famous companies or higher education paths. So this is a strong point of the YNU. So this is a summary of the why study at YNU. The first, the YNU offers practical education. And the second, YNU conduct cutting-edge research. Third, YNU is an ideal place to study and live. The fourth, YNU is supportive. And fifth, YNU is cost effective. Okay, and this is the summary of the why study at the YNU. I'd like to show you some YNU exchange activities with Indian universities. Okay. So we have MOU with many Indian universities. This is the faculty exchange program and the student exchange program at the IIT Hyderabad and IIT Guwahati. So then many faculties is exchange with each other. And also on the YNU has a MOU with this Anna University and IIT Madras and VIT. This South India University is a very strong relationship with YNU. And Punjab University will join in near future. Okay. So and we have held a special symposium on the India-Japan YNU symposium for discussing about the technologies and economics for sustainable society in future world. So, 2017, we discussed this emerging material and the systems for green and life innovations. 2019, development of the sustainable environment energy technologies in South India. And 2020, and the last year, we had a web symposium. The thesis is science, technology, and innovation for SDGs in India and Japan. So these activities, we have a very strong relationship, the university and universities. Okay. This is also on the student exchange programs. So we have provide visiting program, the inviting program, and the students are invited from the India visited an environmental protection plant in Yokohama City. This is the Minatomira District, and attend poster session in the symposium. So FTTP, this is a special program of the Anna University. So we accept total 50 students visited YNU and Yokohama Tokyo area and for 3 weeks. So and the YNU info many scholarship programs and many international students use these programs. So our department of Japanese government's special scholarship program for the graduate school. So last year, 3 Indian students and 1 Pakistan student entered our department, the chemical application and life science, using this Japanese government scholarship program. And from this October, 2 Indian students and 1 Pakistan students will enter with the same scholarship. So there are recent exchange activities of the YNU with Indian activities. So we'd like to continue these activities. So and this is a short movie of our campus. Please.
Professor Nakamura, we do not have any audio in your clip.
This is the last slide. This figure, this figure is another angle of our campus. So we can see the Mount Fujita here. Okay. So on the detail of the information about the admission, about supports provided by website of the YNU. Please visit our website. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Nakamura, for such a comprehensive presentation. So would you like to answer some of the questions? So I have marked a few, like one is Yokohama University offering undergraduate degrees in English?
Mainly the Japanese. Some classes provided by English, but mainly the Japanese.
So the degree will be, the whole education will be in Japanese in undergraduate courses. Okay. So one more question is, are there doctoral programs in international relations in YNU, in Yokohama National University?
Yes, and we have graduate schools and the PhD course, and both the master and the doctor course.
Are there any design related courses like product design for masters and like automobile designing courses in YNU?
Material design is it means the chemical field, or I think the material field. So we have the department in the engineering and the science graduate schools. Okay.
So the master's courses are they available in English courses in English language?
Yes, and so in the engineering science, faculty of the engineering science, all so it's all programs is provided by the English. So so there are no problem about. And another graduate school, the part of the classes is provided by English.
Okay. So thank you very much, Professor Nakamura, for your presentation and helping us in the Q&A session. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you. So moving forward, I would also like to share the experience of our different sessions that we held in the study and work in Japan. So from my personal experience, I would like to give an overview of the admission procedure in Japan. And I would like to mention that the admission procedure in Japan is a little different, maybe a little different from your country. For example, the admissions in Japan are handled by the individual departments or the graduate schools, as we call in Japan. And for the education opportunities, you are highly recommended to visit the department and the graduate school websites and web pages for to see about the opportunities that are available to you. 20-minute session may not be able to do justice to all the educational and admission opportunities that are available in a university. So you will get just the idea about the procedure, and I'm sure you will find the courses of your choice in the department and in the university websites. So that's all from my side. So thank you very much for sticking with us till the end. Today we had presentations from the 3 of the top Japanese universities. They gave a very comprehensive insight into the education system and admission opportunities, along with a glimpse into the campus life, beautiful landscape of Japan, and career opportunities. So we will have many more sessions with different programs and different universities coming up. So please stay tuned and keep visiting the website of University of Tokyo India office for the upcoming sessions. So thank you very much.